It's all yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 o'clock. We'll go ahead and start. The first item on the agenda, approving the minutes held from June 3rd.
I make a motion to approve those minutes and sign the warrant.
Motion made, second by Mr. Nutton. All in favor? Thank you. Next one up is item number 2 is the sewer budget.
Got board still here. And he will present the budget. The floor is yours.
Okay, so Kelly and I put together the budget with Gary as far as our overall expenses and all that stuff. So I think what I'd like to do is what we've done before, unless you folks want to see something different, I'll just go through the narrative on the changes. Not a lot changed as far as the budget. Pretty much holding steady with what we had last year. We did make some tweaks on some of the lines, and I can go through those with you as to what those represent. The third page is actually the narrative page. So I'll just kind of go down through the superintendent's salary, which to me did not change. There are 53 weeks this upcoming year, so that was reflected in that budget item. Clerical pay, there was a slight increase in pay for that, plus the 53rd week. Weekend labor and summer labor, we did reduce that by $1,000 for this coming year because we don't anticipate this year or next having any summer help. Waterville sewer backup, we haven't had anything in that couple of years, so that's zero. Employee benefits, my wife actually, we ended up going on her benefits package insurance, so there was a savings there of about $17,000 to the town for this budget. Telephone, we reduced that by $1,000, basically to bring in line with what we've been seeing the last several years on telephone costs, and that includes our internet access for our SCADA system. Electricity, we bumped that up $1,000. Doug and I, over the last couple of years, have kind of been playing around, kind of nailing that number down. It's completely dependent on rain. So this year we ran a little high, which is expected because we had so many small rainstorms, and even this winter we had a lot of rain. So we did bump that up by $1,000 to try to get that set at a normal year. The water didn't change, equipment maintenance did not change. Sewer plant maintenance, we did increase that by $1,000, pretty much just trying to get some money in there for any valves or anything that might need repair down the road. The new system is, obviously, it's 8 years old now, so things will start breaking down over time, so we just want to make sure we've got some money in there for that. The sewer system upgrade was an increase of $13,990, and that was basically completely from the items above on the personnel services, the savings, and the benefits. We put that into system upgrades to keep on our pressure on the system, getting that, reducing I&I and doing other maintenance teams we have to do with the system. Maintenance of vehicles didn't change, insurance didn't change. Training, we reduced that by 100 to bring it in line with what we've been using. Administration didn't change. Audit, GIS mapping didn't change. The water bill, sewer charges, KMD, and the web road, we think we've got those pretty well refined, so we're in pretty good shape there until we start getting big chunks on our I&I, then we'll see some savings there, hopefully down the road. Water company readings did not change. Heating and fuel oil didn't change. Gas didn't change. Chemicals, we aren't adding any chemicals right now. Supplies and parts, I reduced that by $1,000. Again, to kind of bring that in line with what we've been using at the main pump station. Computer equipment, no change there, and office supplies, we actually increased that by $700 to reflect what we've been doing over the last couple of years. So all in all, no change to our expense side of the budget. Revenue, we were anticipating to be similar, I believe, to last year. I think there might be a slight increase, but basically the same. So all in all, pretty much no significant changes one way or the other from our sewer budget plan for next year. So we really wanted to hold the line with all this COVID stuff and everything going on. So and that gives us plenty to do in the system, and still, we don't want to We don't want to not keep working on our system, so that does give us, I've got a list on the narrative of projects that I want to do in the upcoming year, and that gives us actually one of the larger years that we've had as far as budget to do work in the system, so.
Any questions? Don?
What is the debt that we still have on Waterville project on page 2, we're paying $136.5? Can you just give us a summary update of how much we've got left on that and when we expect to have that done?
I don't know the dollar amount, but it's a 40-year loan, so.
It's 2.39 million is what the debt amount funded on it. It was, actually, it was a 30-year.
30-year loan, yeah.
And
So
we
we're,
paid it down for 8 years, so we got about 20 years left.
And at some point, not tonight, but maybe schedule on one of our meetings, just a year review. You know, we've had a lot of things we've tried to do to decrease the inflow from places, and we have cameras, and we have things that we've done, and we talked about trying to track homeowners who have water flowing into the system that shouldn't be there. Nothing of a critique, but I'm just curious as to how we've done in the last year, where we are, and are we going any place specifically?
sure, yeah. One of the things that I'm in the process of working with DEP on is part of the meter grant we received a number of years ago. We have to do an inflow and infiltration study as part of that. It was part of the stipulation of the grant money. So what I had emailed them that I'm planning on doing is once the fire station work gets done and the transfer station annual report gets done this year, then I'm going to get onto that. And what I want to do is pretty much do an asset management of what we've done to date for CCTV, what we found, to pretty much give us some short-term and long-term goals. That's what I worked out with DEP, so I suspect that'll be something that I could also present to the council. That'll be later on this coming year, probably more like November, December, I think, by the time I get around to getting that done. So I think that'll give us a good hand. But we've got, we've been working on our system. We are pretty limited in the amount we can do every year, so it is a multi-year thing, but we could definitely do that, Don.
Further questions?
Stand by for amended topic.
Motion to accept that.
A motion to accept that?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Thank you. Moving on, item number 3, machinery property.
Okay, so I got, hold on just a second. How many times I gotta go through, Dave?
Great.
I've got the code enforcement officer, Dave Savage, here to give you an update on what's going on with the Schuman Court property. We've got a copy of a letter that was sent out from Burlington Insurance, and we've got a chance to review that. And Dave, you can forward.
Sure. As you guys remember, a few months ago, Schuman was in, entered into a consent agreement verbally. That was never typed to actually sign with her. Wait a minute. I think. We'll try it. It wasn't signed mostly because of COVID, the restrictions at the time. There was the follow-up letter from the attorney that went out to her. There's been some progress made, including some of the stuff you removed. There's a new fence. I know I can't talk over it. So the 3 or 4 pictures I provided you guys today are pictures taken from today on where we're currently at with the property. Like I said, there has been some progress made. This is more to see what direction the council wants to go by ordinance. Once we get any type of agreement and letter go out from the attorney to follow up with that, the next step, if we continue with corrective action, is court. And as we know, that's an expense, and that's a decision the board needs to make on whether they want to spend money going in that direction.
Questions, comments?
How much more work needs to be done to bring it into compliance?
There's some violations currently. I mean, I think there's still a couple vehicles that probably should not be there. It's a little harder to really tell now due to the fence and the screening that's been put up.
Which vehicles?
I do believe what we were talking on the consent was the van that I don't believe is
The
running.
van is an antique, and it is registered as an antique. It does not need an inspection sticker on it. And that is my son's vehicle. He just moved to New Hampshire, and he will be taking his van with him. And that is his father's van that he will be restoring. That's exempt.
Is it registered now, ma'am?
Yes, it is. As an antique. It has antique plates on it.
Is it currently registered?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Mullen?
I guess my major concern is that back months ago when we went through this, there was an agreement with the council that these were the things that had to be addressed. And I don't know if we have a formal list of those, but I guess I'd be curious to see, have there been things on there that haven't been done? I think there was adequate time. I think June 1st might have been one of the dates. I don't remember, but there was an agreement made to, these would be the things taken care of. The refrigerator was the first and the most important one from the police viewpoint, as it was an illegal outside refrigerator that had a door on it. And I think that was taken care of pretty quickly. I know there were a lot of things on there. I don't recall what they all were, but I would just want to make sure that whatever was agreed on to be done has been accomplished before we sign off.
And how is that?
Unserviceable vehicles.
I'm
I
sorry,
have
ma'am,
no
stand by.
unserviceable
Ma'am,
vehicles.
stand by.
I'm reading the
I
letter
understand.
to answer this
I
question.
understand. Please stand by. Okay, we'll go in turns. So he directed a question to Mr. Savage. Where is that standing now?
I'd have to go back and look at the actual notes from the previous meeting and see what was agreed to at that time and what's still remaining. There will be a slight problem, probably, because I know what is actually there was agreed to. I was in the right-of-way for the other two homes, and I was actually told not to be on their property today, so it's gonna make it a little more difficult to know what's actually going on there.
I did not tell you not to come on my property. I told you, if you are going to come up on my property, please let me know so I can be there and assist you. Do not just show up on my yard and start taking pictures when I am not around, please. And that's what I told you.
So-
And you told me it was okay for you to go up on my property because my neighbor said you could. And no, my neighbor does not have the right to tell you, you can come up on my property.
Just so the board understands, there's a right-of-way to two other houses there. I was within that right-of-way to them homes, which is where the complaint generated from. And they told me if I ever needed anything up there, to feel free to go there. I wasn't on Ms. Schuman's property.
Thank you. Dave, Mr. Yoder?
My only question is the fence conforming, or is that just there to hide all the issues that we're trying to address?
We don't have much of a fence ordinance, so it would be allowed there.
There is no fence control ordinance. It can go right directly on your property line, but the town recommends that it goes 2 to 3 feet from that line. But other than that, there is no fence control ordinance. And I put that fence up so that her lights weren't shining in our eyes when we were back here because we have a fire pit back here that my kids and I hang out at on the weekends and things.
You understood my
and her
question,
lights
though, right?
shine right in our face.
You understood my concern that the fence is not there just to shroud the issues that we're trying to overcome.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, man. I'm not saying that you did, I'm asking the question. Is that why the fence is there, to hide
No.
what we were trying to accomplish?
No, I am not hiding anything.
Mr. Nutting?
I don't claim to remember everything that we discussed at that time. I do remember the refrigerator. It would be nice if we had a list of some kind that was generated then, but I do vaguely remember that somebody was living out of state and had a car here and they were going to get it, and and move it.
That
Is
was
this
my
the same person we're talking about again
No.
tonight? This is
No.
a different car,
Yes,
different person?
yes,
So the one we talked about a couple months ago is gone?
yes.
Is the person the same? Does the person keep,
I don't understand what you're saying.
is the person who was coming to get the car 2 months ago the same person who's coming to get a car now? Didn't you say it's?
My son's van is the one that I asked, I told you guys that he was going to move, and he needed to wait until he moved, and he just moved last weekend. I just went down and helped him move. Now he has to find a way to get up here with one of his cars so that he can get his van and have somebody else drive it back down for him.
So the van is the van that was
van.
there 2 months ago? We're talking
Yes.
about the same vehicle?
The van,
same
yes,
person?
that, yes.
When do you think he's coming to get it? I mean, I thought he was coming to get it 2 months ago.
No, I never said he was coming to get it 2 months ago. I said he was moving in July. But, and that's why I asked until July. And you people said, no, I want it done now.
Right. And
He just moved last weekend.
we said,
And
no,
now-
you can't wait till July?
Yes, you said no, not until
So
May.
you didn't believe us? I mean,
I never said I didn't believe you.
that's all I had.
He can't move something. I told you guys that he could not move his van off of my property until he got a place to move, and you said, okay. But everything else had to be done. It's done.
So way out back, there was a Mustang. It was sitting way
There's
out.
never been a Mustang on my
But
yard.
maybe I'm wrong on the type of car, but I thought it was a Mustang. Sitting way back, had a whole bunch of leaves on it. Is that car gone now? Way back?
My Grand Am,
Whatever kind of car it is. Is
the
that
one
gone?
that had the motor pulled